I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Michael Lebhart's family members protested outside Newburgh City Hall this afternoon, demanding that the two city police officers responsible for his fatal shooting, Officers Nicholas Cardinal and Eric Henderson, not be allowed to return to street patrol duty. The call was part of their angry reaction to this week's grand jury decision clearing the officers of criminal wrongdoing, ruling they had acted in self-defense during the incident where Lebhart was repeatedly shot and killed. Family members were also passing out flyers asking people to attend Monday's Newburgh City Council meeting. The council will reportedly consider whether an additional investigation is needed. It's discouraging news for those looking to grow passenger service at Stewart Airport. Delta Airlines has announced that it will suspend its Stewart to Atlanta flights beginning September 1st. Delta currently operates Stewart service to Atlanta and Detroit. And while a Delta spokesman said both routes have been performing poorly this year, the decision was made to focus on the Newburgh to Detroit run and drop the Atlanta service. Detroit serves as a Delta hub airport. The cutback comes at a time when Delta is adding flights at New York City airports. High fuel costs coupled with shaky economic conditions were also considered factors in the Delta decision. The city of Middletown intersection at Washington and Spring Street was the scene of a large fight between two groups last night, where at least 2 gunshots were fired and 1 man was wounded. Police say the shooting grew out of a dispute that involved about 20 people. The crowd had dispersed when officers arrived, but the ensuing investigation determined a person had been hit by gunfire and a suspect was later taken into custody. 55-year-old Tyrone Glover of Bloomingburg has been charged with first-degree assault. The victim, a 19-year-old Middletown man, was taken to Orange Regional Medical Center for treatment of a gunshot wound to the leg, an injury not considered life-threatening. There's been another tragedy on an area road. State police say a Bloomingburg woman was killed at around 8 last night when her motorcycle went out of control at the Route 9W overlook in the Town of Highlands. 35-year-old Anna Hart was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say Hart was with several other riders when she failed to negotiate a curve and hit a guide rail, ejecting her over the cliff. Baruch Medina will be deported to Mexico after he finishes serving his prison sentence for leaving the scene of an incident in Cornwall last April that resulted in the death of his girlfriend. Medina was sentenced to a prison term of from 2 to 6 years for his guilty plea to the charge of leaving the scene of an incident resulting in a fatality. Medina told police his girlfriend, 24-year-old Veronica Gutierrez of Monroe, was under the influence of alcohol and opiates when she jumped out of his car on the Quaker Street ramp of Route 9W in Cornwall. Gutierrez ended up on the roadway and was later pronounced dead. An autopsy showed the tire marks on her body, but the cause of death was undetermined. Orange County Judge Robert Freehill said by leaving the scene, Medina showed a lack of common sense and decency. Word out of Port Jervis is that the North Orange Street house that was destroyed by fire last month, damaging 3 other houses around it, had been cited for 14 code violations since 2004 because of the trash and debris stacked inside the home and backyard. Port Jervis Fire Chief Jeffrey Rhodes said intense heat triggered the June 21st fire in 4-foot-high stacks of debris that quickly spread, ripping through the North Orange Street home. Could or should anything have been done differently regarding the violations? Reporter James Nanny will have an update, including comments from the city's building inspector, in an upcoming edition of the Times-Herald Record. Elsewhere, a court fight shaping up in Goshen now that the owners and employees of the company that runs the Valley View nursing home have refused to testify under oath to members of a special legislative committee investigating the management and finances of the county-owned facility. An attorney representing Orange Administrative Services told the legislative panel Wednesday that they plan to ask a judge to quash the subpoenas that call for testimony to be given under oath. That same path could be followed by County Executive Ed Diana, who was called to testify before the committee Friday. Legislators formed the fact-finding committee to gather all the information regarding the county administration's plan to sell Valley View to a private operator. Kingston School District residents get the chance to sound off on the planned closing of three of the district's elementary schools during a public forum tonight at Kingston High School. Superintendent Paul Padalino presented the proposal last month. He's asking for a school board okay to close Anna Devine School in Rifton, the Sophie Finn School in Kingston, and Xena Elementary in Woodstock as of next June. Padalino says the closings are necessary because of declining state aid, a 13% reduction since 2008, coupled with the cuts in student population. Padalino is hoping the school board takes action by September. And they're tuning up for the big event. The blue and orange solar car designed and fabricated by students at SUNY New Paltz has been competing this week in the Formula Sun Grand Prix, a three-day qualifying track race at the Monticello Motor Club. It's the lead-in to the American Solar Challenge, an 8-day-long, 1,650-mile-plus race that'll start Saturday in Rochester, New York, and ends in St. Paul, Minnesota. The six-member SUNY New Paltz team, advised by college professor Mike Otis, is one of 18 teams taking part in the Monticello qualifying event. Vehicles must run completely on solar power alone. It's the third time the New Paltz Solar Car team has competed in the American Solar Challenge with its Sunhawk solar car. Your air conditioners will probably get a workout this weekend. Friday will be most